Okay, I took the time to read some of Dylann Roof's writings. That's the fellow that uh, went into a black church and shot it up. I read his manifesto, and I read his writings to his mommy. I wish his mommy would hold him right now. And this is a very immature, undeveloped human being. It seems like we're creating a lot of these types of males in the dominant society and in black society. Of these undeveloped child males running around. Old ass child males running around. And I swear that there's programming out there to make these kind of people like this. If you could step back and see the 10,000 mile high view, you notice the certain TV shows, the certain things that are out there, they seem to have an effect on these certain types of people's minds to make them crack up like this. The ones who have the potential to be manipulated, they get manipulated out there. It's like little touches, a little touch here of something here, a little touch of something there, a little article over here, a little something. It's all designed to affect these types of people who have undeveloped childlike minds. And I see it in Dylann Roof. It's like the insanity was there. I looked at his life story. He played video games and was reclusive. Now, many of you guys play video games, you're reclusive, and you don't realize that you have the potential to Dylann Roof out as well. There's quite a few people I've talked to that I can see that in them since I've been doing this online. It seems like society and the people who program this stuff in the society are masters at it. They know people like that exist out there, and they know that they can manipulate them into cracking up, thinking they're the Joker, they're going to shoot up a movie theater, or thinking they're going to start a race war. Then at the end, he ends up, I wish I could feel your arms around me, mommy, holding me. Undeveloped child minds led by video games. It's in the games too. The programming is right there in the games. The programming is in the anime. It's in the cartoons. It's in the TV shows. Dylann Roof truly did believe that his race is a superior race. But he knew the programming of the history, which is kind of interesting. He stated that history is designed to make white people feel superior. That's why they designed it that way. He knew it's not the real history. So part of him knew that he was being programmed in some way. Somewhere he lost sight of himself. And he got drowned in the messages. Since I was younger, I believe that there are messages being pumped into our society to affect people like that. And the more and more that crack up, the more I see it. When I used to work at a phone company, there was a woman named Mrs. Fahey, I believe that was her name. And she believed that, she was a total nutcase. We get her calls every time the full moon come out. There was a box on the telephone pole talking to her. Yeah. She needed a little tinfoil hat to stop the radiation. But then we saw it in certain movies. In same type of thing, same concept, They're experimenting, CIA is experimenting with this form of communication, and it's communicating to people, and they're cracking up. It's like they almost know which people are going to do it. Which people have the potential to be manipulated. That's what I see when I look at Dylann Roof. I see truth. If you read his life story and read his words, he was asking for a book directly from the publisher, some kind of book that he wanted. And, a total child mind, total undeveloped mind. Because he had retreated into himself. He dropped out of school, he played video games, and did some type of drug. I can't recall what it was. It was a drug that's supposed to be to help other druggies come off of drugs. Drugged out mind and video games. I warned you guys about the power of video games. It's not a real world. It's not a real life. You retreat into a false reality where you can be manipulated. It's almost like I'm touching on the very elements of white supremacy that holds together when I look at Dylann Roof. The programming that's there in the coding of our society underneath it, where you can't see it. And that's what he bit into. And it's there for those who are weak enough to fall for the shit. And I believe it's done deliberately. He's not the first one to crack up. A lot of weak males crack up because they can be influenced by subtle shit. They're too weak to see it, too weak to stand against it, too weak to fight as men to say no. Now the guy's like a child in prison, lost and confused. He thought he was going to be the super white guy that started a race war. And part of him could see the reality there. He knew that his race was stepping on the black race and keeping him down. He wrote about that. But he grew to utter disdain in the deep parts of his mind for black people, although he had black friends. See, when he man up to get rid of his black friends, he's one of those white folks that you didn't know what they're thinking, that came slithering around you if you're black. And then you find out they were racist. This racism seems to be programmed into him, though. If you look at his life story, read the whole thing, the manifesto, it's programmed into him by the very elements of society that we live in. It's in the undercoding of it. Again, within video games, within TV shows, within the history. History designed to, as I said, to make white folks feel superior. That's why they wrote it that way. Interesting case study. They need to put this boy to sleep. His life is done. He has no life. Why keep him around in prison for, he's young, for the next 60 plus years? To be a fuck boy? I think this one needs to be put down for good, personally. There's nothing left to rescue. I mean, he's done his evil. It's time for him to go. That's what I feel. What do you think?